BEERUN, beer run. BEERUN, beer run. All we need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. BEERUN, beer run.
Welcome to the Beer Run, part of the BSnBEER network, the only Saints podcast and YouTube show with a 2-drink minimum and takes as bad as whatever bum was covering Rashid Shaheed last week.
That's a joke, boy. You missed it. Went right past you. You gotta keep on your toes. Put toes out in.
I'm the California Cajun, your friendly neighborhood guru, and over here's my good buddy Dial. How you doing, Dice?
Oh man, doing good. Good win, I must say. I love it when the Saints win. So yeah, I've been having a good week. And
did you feel with that game that it was like the whole game felt like it was stressful, but then afterwards you're like, oh, that was pretty convincing?
No, I wasn't.
You don't feel that way?
I wasn't really stressed.
Oh man.
Yeah, not.
I'm a Saints fan. I'm stressed out whenever they're playing at all.
Yeah, I got stressed during that Jacksonville game though, because it got my hopes
all
up.
your hair went gray.
Yeah, it did.
Well, in solidarity with Dennis Allen's new dye job, I have also come out with the black hair.
There we go.
I definitely didn't have last week.
There we go. Look, that was a good decision. I think that went ahead and got us on the right track. Got all the players motivated.
Again, just shave his head. Just hold him down and shave it because I'm tired of this nonsense. Look, we're getting to that point. We're looking at the schedule and looking at all these injured quarterbacks we're playing. It's like if you don't string together 3-4 wins before the bye week, then it's just not acceptable. It's just not. Our team's just not good enough if we don't string some wins together right here. We had some bad stuff happen. We are through it now. It looks like we're clicking a little bit. So if you drop to the Bears or to the Vikings with a new quarterback, or to what do we got after that?
You're looking too far ahead, Craig. You're looking too far ahead.
That's what I'm saying, though. If we don't win like 2 or 3 in a row, like what are we doing? You know?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, let's drink.
I'm with you on that. So you know how we do it on the Beer Run. We got 4 downs. We're gonna be talking about some beer. We're gonna recap the Saints' win over the Colts. Then we're gonna preview the game with some Bears fans on 3rd down. And we're going to wrap it up with our predictions on 4th down. So referees, get out there, spot the ball. Let's get this thing going.
First down, Saints.
All right, Craig, what you drinking, bruh?
All right, man. Courtesy of my wife who picks out the best beers, we got something from Lazy Magnolia, the Timber Beast Rye Imperial India Pale Ale. It is terrifying, 9%, and hoppy as all get up. But an important question is, how does it sound? Solid. It sounds solid as hell. And let's see if I can stay upright after a couple of these.
I'm not worried about that, Craig.
Oh, that's delightful.
I think you got it. I think you got it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's an angry beer. A lesser man would be shaking in his boots. Luckily, I am the California Cajun. Now, this is good stuff, man. It's a rye IPA, so it's got a little bit of that dry edge to it. But it is hoppy and it is strong, and you can taste the alcohol a little bit. When you get some of those, 8+ percenters, you kind of just like feel it on the tip of your tongue. This is a good beer. I'm gonna have a couple of them and see how much cursing we do with our guests later.
There we go.
What you drinking, brother?
Well, the last one in the 6-pack, Craig. All right, Oktoberfest.
Getting mileage out of that thing.
October's done now, Craig. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to mail you beer just so that you get another 6-pack for next week.
Oh, this Oktoberfest was a good purchase, Craig. Okay, very good purchase.
Sorry, I'm just watching my spinning self over there drinking. People on audio are not going to understand what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. You should definitely get on YouTube and check out Little Craig drinking. I'm telling you, I can go.
2nd down.
The Saints beat the Colts 38-27. Talk to me about your thoughts, Craig.
All right, so listen, it was my anniversary over the weekend. We were out in New Orleans to celebrate. So, oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. Shut up. So we were at a little brunch spot, real old building, like one of those things that's been open since the 1700s. I love that kind of stuff. And I'm yelling and whooping and hollering and high-fiving busboys and stuff. It was a good time. But like I felt the whole way like we were losing. I know we were down 17-7 at one point, but up until the final whistle, I was like, oh God, we're just hanging on for dear life right now. It's so close. Even when we were like scoring from 60 yards out, I just never felt good about it. And now taking a step back, I've had two waves, right? So initially when it ended, I go, oh, we kicked their ass. What the hell am I talking about? Like that was solid. And then another layer of it is, oh, if you take away the 200 yards passing we had against one guy that was trying to run with Rashid Shaheed, does it suddenly become less impressive? And maybe our offense isn't all the way there. There were good signs, using Taysom in the red zone, stuff like that. There was some good stuff we did. But I've had the roller coaster of, oh, we suck. Oh, hey, that was good. Oh, well, it was okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I understand. But I mean, look, you pick on the guys that's the weakest link out there. That's Tom Payton did it.
Hey, speaking of picking on guys, this is an excellent example of the media narrative driving how people feel. Because I still saw people tweeting after the game like, oh, we won even though Derek Carr played, and Derek Carr still sucks. The last time he's thrown for 300 yards or more, and all in the last 3 games, we've lost a couple of them, but he's thrown for over 300 yards 3 games in a row. The last time a Saints quarterback did that? 2015. 2015. Michael Thomas was still at Ohio State the last time Drew Brees threw 3 games in a row with 300 yards passing. Like we're moving the ball. We're improving offensively. There are good things happening. Even Carmichael's making better adjustments. Like there were some fun play calls. You see that play in the red zone with the Taysom Hill fake one-way roll out to the side. That's a fun play. I've never seen us run that. That's exciting, man. So like we're offense is trending upward. The defense, that we'll get to later, but the offense is trending upward. And if you're still finding things to be mad about, then you don't want to be happy. Period.
Were you upset that the Saints did not make a deal at the trade deadline?
Look, so a lot of people wanted Renfro. A lot of people wanted a pass rusher. I would have been happy if one of those things happened, but I get why you don't. The roster is good enough to win the division right now. Adding a player doesn't make you a Super Bowl favorite, and you're already a favorite to win the division. So I get why you don't. You don't want to burn draft picks in case this thing starts falling apart, which it could at any second. So, the little disappointment of it would be exciting if Chase Young or Renfro was on the team, but I'm fine with us not. I like to borrow Sean Payton. I like the guys we have in the room.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking, I wanted a pass rusher. So
that's the one thing I would have maybe been okay with wasting money on. Waste a big draft pick, but you don't want to. Denver might end up terrible, so you don't want to waste that second round pick. We don't have a third round pick, so it's like, oh, you could have traded a third for somebody. We don't have a third, jackass. And the price between a third and a fourth is a huge drop. Thirds are so much more valuable than fourths, so we're trying to shop around a fourth and see what we can get from it. You're just going to find somebody they're trying to clear off for salary cap reasons, and they're not going to be any better than who we have. In order to pick up a pass rusher, you have to find someone who's going to be better than Cam Jordan. Because Granderson's playing out of his head, and you're not going to waste that kind of money on just a depth guy. So if you're going to trade for an asset, he has to start. So if you're going to pick up a pass rusher, he has to be better than Granderson or Cam Jordan. That's hard. You're not going to find that for a fourth or a fifth.
Yeah, you're right. And though the Saints did not make those trades, and hey, we're going to see what we have with the rest of this year here. But speaking about the roster, Taysom Hill had a big game, 44 yards passing.
But he's paid so much, Dale.
9 for 63 rushing and 2 touchdowns, 1 catch for 14 yards. I mean,
there's a clutch catch too. It was on third down while he was getting hit. Like that was a good play.
Filled up the stat sheet, man. Can't argue with that.
Look, and I get into arguments about Taysom Hill every other offseason about how Falcons fans will tell me, he's the most overrated player in the league. It's like, dude, you're a Falcons fan. You should know exactly how much he kicks ass because he does it to you every year. So this is another example. Every few weeks, Taysom Hill takes over a game, and everyone is reminded that he's the best tight end playing quarterback in the world.
There you go. Big day for Rashid Shaheed. 3 big catches, 153 yards, 1 touchdown on the day. I mean, the dude is not only fast, but I like him being able to judge the ball in the air and make a play on it. You don't really get those from a lot of those speedy receivers, but with Shaheed, we definitely get that. So I like that.
It is really remarkable, man. I had no expectations for him outside of kick returning, but he's turned into a really good receiver.
Right.
He adjusts to the ball really well in the air. He's not just straight line fast either. He makes adjustments, and he can turn on the second gear when, cutting across the field. He's been really impressive. He's been a real good player. That average is going to come down when we start throwing to him more.
Yeah.
And if Olave keeps playing like shit, we're going to start throwing to him more. But, he's been really impressive. Unlike his other second-year running mates, who is a sophomore slump and a half right now.
I think Olave will end up coming back.
He'll figure it out.
He'll figuring everything out. Yeah, I think he's just being a little young right now, and he's going to have to, learn. You got to do things the way the quarterback wants you to do it, and things will be a lot easier for you once you do that. So,
speaking of wide receivers doing the things you wanted done, Michael Thomas is still a stud.
He is.
Michael Thomas made some big plays, and I found out that he lost like 3 pounds and like couldn't eat for a couple of days.
Yeah,
taking IVs before the game, and then
crazy. Yeah,
like that was a hell of a performance for someone who couldn't stand or keep food down.
Yeah, 7 targets on the day. Mike Thomas. I would love if Carr could actually hit a slant, though. That'd be nice.
Man, how open he's been on those slants has been the most frustrating part. I was impressed that he had a few run after the catch moments that we haven't really seen from him thus far. He's kind of getting more complete as a receiver, where when he was working his way back, he'd still make the catch, he'd still get you a first down, but he really didn't do anything with it. And we saw a couple of moves after catch, getting extra yards this week. I'm just really happy with Mike Thomas, and I'm just hoping he stays healthy long enough for Olave to figure his shit out so we can still have a number 1 wide receiver at any given time.
Yeah. Do you think Olave makes that ascension to number 1 guy? I
did until about last week. Honestly, he's just got too much talent for it to just all be wasted. And you hear about these super talented guys that never turn out, but he already turned out. He was really good as a rookie, and he's shown flashes this year. So no, I don't think there's any reason to give up on him. I don't think anyone should be worried about that. I think he's going to be the guy. He's just got to figure his shit out. Like I said, it's a new quarterback. A lot of people have issues with Derek Carr. He's still in Pete Carmichael's offense, so there's still growing pains. You got to catch stuff that hits you on the helmet. Oh yeah. But there's stuff he can get better at.
On the defensive side, we saw a lot of snaps from Jordan Howden. So is he going to be the permanent starter at safety? Yeah.
Well, they said May was sick. Okay. They said May was sick and he couldn't really go, so they kind of pushed Howden in there. But I like him, man. Howden's showing some flashes, and he's looking like a real steal. What is he, a 5th rounder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 5th rounder out of Minnesota. Yeah, but he's looking like a real player, and I think he's the heir apparent to one of our 2 aging safeties.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. That's it right there.
Yeah, that's a bargain too. You get a 5th rounder to take up our starting spot. Hell yeah.
Now, one of the biggest things that came out of this last game is Colin Saunders. And I want to know, Craig, will you join the pledge?
I'm not rioting.
If Colin Saunders does not score a touchdown this season,
I'm not going to riot.
We riot, Craig.
He's a defensive lineman getting to play offense at all. He should just be happy. You know what was surprising is that he's been good at it.
He's been good.
Been blowing guys out of the hole. So
exactly.
Man, he's an athlete. He was a running back in high school. He knows what he's doing.
Him lead blocking for Taysom, bro. That's nasty.
Adam Prentice should start learning how to sell insurance or something.
Yeah.
Because he basically gives up. He drops a pass on 3rd or 4th down, and then he fumbles inside the 5-yard line, and then he gets hurt, and now you're going to come back and take Saunders' job? Come on, Saunders the man.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do a backflip? Because Colin can.
Third down for what?
The Saints, the Bears.
Joining us on the Beer Run today for third down, we have Shorty from Bears Country Podcast, and we also have Bobby. What's up, you guys?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
All good, man. We appreciate you guys joining us. And we want to give our studio audience a chance to welcome in our Bears fans. There we go.
You see,
Nice.
Dale wanted you guys here. I'm not over 2006 yet.
Oh man,
I was not okay with any of this. Every once in a while I wake up on a cold sweat thinking about Brian Urlacher. So I'm not interested.
I'm not over 2006 yet either from the Indy loss. So
Oh, yeah.
You rolled into the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. What do you want, guys?
man.
yeah, Mr. Small Hands.
Oh, man. Yeah, man.
But you guys got your Super Bowl, so you should still feel good, though.
That's for sure.
Yeah, we got our one.
It's nice.
What we got that year.
It's a warm light in the darkness right now. Hey, there is still a player from that team in the NFL right now. He just happens to be punting for the Jets.
Yeah.
Legend.
That's a sore spot there, Craig.
Right now. We're not talking about our pain right now. We're going to talk about y'all's pain.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Much
a lot of
better
it.
topic.
See,
So-
on my podcast, I just pull people out, for fun. I wish I could just pull myself out right now.
All right. So this is BSnBEER Media, and we're on the Beer Run Podcast. Do you guys have anything to drink? Bobby, you drinking anything right now?
Got some water, buddy.
Got some water. Okay, that's cool. What
Now I
about you,
just feel
Shorty?
guilty.
I feel like you're going to make fun of me, but I'll let you do it anyway.
Uh-huh. A white
No
claw.
shame, buddy. No shame.
I have a basic.
Dale is not allowed to make fun of anyone's drinks ever. So if he ever starts, you put him in his place right away. We had a streak of like 3 months straight. He always had some kind of fruit in his beer. All right. So White Claw is just fine with us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my
Not me,
calls from the
you know, that's the left of us.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you guys are coming off of a 30-13 loss on the road to the Chargers. Talk to me. How are you feeling about the team, the direction? What's going on right now, Shorty? Tell me. What are you guys saying on the podcast?
Oh, well, on the podcast, we try to remain positive because we have a fan base they're divided like Trump and Biden right now with Justin Fields and Tyson Agent.
Oh,
It's kind of careful treading how you word it.
okay.
That's the best way I can say it. Justin Fields, all of us know the talent that he has, but Bears fans, Bobby, I'm sure you can attest to this. We all see it. The eye test says that he holds on to the ball way too damn long, and he's been doing it. I get his rookie year. He was thrown in the first game against the Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns with that defensive line. He was sacked 9 times. He's probably seen some ghosts, but he's in year 202 of this offense, and he's hanging on to the ball too long. He should be doing his drop backs, 1, 2, 3. He should be going through his progressions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, through his progressions, plant, throw. But he plants, and then he begins his long windup. Then you see this undrafted rookie come in, Tyson Bagent, from a Division II school, broke just about every record, I think, maybe even every record. And he is just slinging the ball. The ball comes out of his hand quickly. His footwork is excellent. It's all in timing and rhythm, and it works really well. And there's plenty of passes that he's made that Justin Fields did not pull the trigger on. And that's causing the divide in our fan base, I think, because, I love Justin Fields too. I started my freaking channel because of him.
Okay.
I've been supporting him since day one. But when you see an undrafted rookie come in and be able to move the ball in timing and rhythm in the offense, you start to like the eye test thing comes along again, and you're like, it's kind of dividing our fan base. That being said, this team is horrendous. They're a dumpster fire. They can't win 2 games in a row. And people, ownership everyone hates the ownership. They want them to sell the team. There's a lot to that. It's not that simple.
Okay.
So, I mean, but they've been saying that for years. The Chicago fan base is very cynical. We grew up in the shitty weather, and you only have either you ice fish, right, Bobby, or you watch the Bears. And that's it.
Big time.
Right. So, it's just there's a lot of calling for Matt Eberflus's head right now, to be fired, or at the very least Getsy. And I just don't see where they go, in either of those. They're not going to do a midseason fire.
Right.
So we'll have to see how the rest of this season plays out. I know coming to New Orleans is going to be a nasty place to play. It always is. I'm not looking forward to it. Every time I see New Orleans on our schedule, I just go, that's probably a loss. If it's in New Orleans.
Oh, stop.
The best thing that the most hope I can come up with is that this kid can just get rid of the ball quicker, the rookie quarterback, as quick as he has been doing, and start to progress in this offense a little bit more. Maybe we can squeak out a win, but I have it as a loss personally.
Well, one of the advantages that you guys might have in that situation is New Orleans does not have a pass rush. So if an issue for him has been like a Justin Fields, we were terrified of seeing Fields. We cannot contain a mobile quarterback at all. We saw the schedule come out and we go, oh yeah, the Bears might not be good, but they're going to hang 50 on us because we can't stop the quarterbacks. And the fact that, he holds the ball too long and takes sacks isn't a problem for us. We can't get sacks anyway. So it's kind of it was a relief for us to have a more of a pocket passer.
Yeah.
But getting that ball out quickly negates a pass rush in the first place. The Saints do have a good secondary, so it's kind of be, a strength versus strength kind of thing. But that's going to be an interesting matchup to see if you can get the ball out quick.
Bobby, what side of the quarterback debate are you on?
I'll just piggyback on some things that Shorty was saying. We can go with like some pretty obvious things. It's kind of hard to pick where to begin with the Bears because it's such a mess and there's so many things to talk about. But we'll keep it simple right now. We'll just stay on topic. I think the play that Justin Fields initially got hurt on, I think he held the ball for like 6 to 7 seconds. That's unacceptable. I mean, dude, that's absurd. You're telling me that you can't make those reads. I mean, it seems like when something like that's happening, I want to say, is it year 3, Shorty, for Justin Fields? That's kind of hard to you kind of want to sweep the rookie year out of the way because that was a mess. But then last year, and then now this year, it's kind of like, man, like you want to be patient. You want to root for Justin Fields. I mean, man, he's a good guy, good leader, well-spoken. You want this guy to do well. Like you want him to be the guy. You traded for him. I mean, like everyone was saying outside of Trevor Lawrence, this is probably the number 2 guy as far as the quarterback in that draft. Some guys were even saying like, I don't know, Stephen A. Smith and other guys are saying like, this is the best quarterback in the draft. You want to drink the Kool-Aid. Chicago's hungry. They always tout themselves as a Bears town. They want the Bears to win so bad. I can speak for Shorty and myself and everyone else in that regard, no doubt. But man, we're getting to the point now with Justin where it's like, dude, I mean, you still want this guy to do well, man. I mean, no matter what you want him to do, I don't think anyone's really rooting for this kid to fail. But we're in such a crazy spot right now with, man, where do we go from here? What does the future look like? Ryan Poles, you guys got to remember, Justin is not Ryan Poles' guy. It's not his guy. You know what I mean? He didn't draft him. He has really no commitment to him, even though he has publicly endorsed him and he has said very encouraging things to support him, but it's not his guy. So I'm not sure what's going on behind closed doors as far as what's going to happen with Justin. I mean, is it a lock that he goes right back into the starting position if Taysom shows out this Sunday in New Orleans? He wasn't bad in Los Angeles. By the way, I was at that game. I was at SoFi.
Okay.
And,
I was at the Raiders game before.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? I'll say this, and Shorty knows this. Bears fans show out. Doesn't matter what city, doesn't matter what sport. Like Chicago fans show out. And, man, it was loud. It was rowdy. The Let's Go Bears chants were freaking loud, man. And you know what? It's like everyone wanted so badly for this team to just show something. It just didn't happen. And it honestly felt like a funeral after that game ended. I want Tyson to do well, but I want Justin to do well. I'm not one of those guys that's going to pick one or the other. I want a winner. I want this team to succeed. I don't care what that looks like at this point. Give me Tyson. Give me Justin. Let's just get a winner out there, man.
Hey, that's the right answer, honestly.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. Just somebody take the reins of this team and get us some freaking wins.
Please.
They haven't
Preferably not this week, though.
Right. We'll be packing your stadium though as much as we can.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all, the Steelers, the Packers are the worst about it. Y'all just travel everywhere, even when you team booty. Yeah, just show up anyway.
Well, one guy that's going to be coming back home is Darnell Mooney from Tulane. This last game, he got one catch, 41 yards.
Did you see that catch?
No. Tell me about it.
It was the first play of the game. Bajan threw a deep ball to the right sideline. It was a perfect pass. He caught it, and he like outreached to catch it, and he fell, and he got up, and he wasn't touched.
Oh, yeah.
That
and
sounds
the
pretty Tulane-esque right there.
They blow the whistle as you know what?
Listen.
Bobby, that reminds me of the 2018 playoff loss to the Eagles at the end of the game before the double doink. Trubisky threw a deep ball to Miller, and he caught it. He actually caught it and fumbled it, but they didn't. They screwed up that call too.
Yep.
Referees missed a call in the playoffs in 2018.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I think you guys are crazy. I was told that it just happens, and we're all supposed to get over it.
Man, that's not part of the script.
There is no referee love in New Orleans, that's for sure. Now, DJ Moore, this was a big offseason acquisition for you guys, and it's paying off, even regardless of your quarterback situation. He's like 5th in the NFL in receiving yards. This is definitely like a true number one guy. I know the front office made sure to include him in the trade with the Panthers. Talk to me about what you've seen from DJ Moore there, Bobby.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, when the move was made this offseason for DJ Moore, I mean, I think the majority of the Bears fans were pretty excited. I mean, as someone who plays fantasy football, I mean, DJ Moore gets it done regardless of who's at quarterback, and he's been with some pretty bad quarterbacks on some pretty bad teams, man. And so, yeah, DJ Moore is not like a top 3 wide receiver in the league, but he's a darn good receiver. Like he's, so everyone's pretty excited, and you definitely paid a substantial amount to get him, and it was kind of showing dividends in training camp early on. It was kind of showing dividends in preseason. You were kind of seeing a connection that could be lethal, and now everyone's just like, oh man, here we go. This season's been a bit of a mixed bag, and I'm not sure it's at all DJ's fault. I think some of the scheming and the game planning has been suspect at best. And then Justin has also been, let's face it, suspect at best this season as well. I think this guy, when you scheme around someone like DJ Moore, you put the ball in his hands, he's lethal. I mean, this guy has proven it over and over. I mean, he is a true WR1. I don't care what anybody says.
Saints fans, you ain't got to tell us. We saw it every year, twice a year.
No doubt, man. And so with DJ Moore right now, I'm very happy we got him. Proud of it. I hope we can keep him as long as possible. But I'm very disappointed, man, as far as how we've been scheming him into the offense, the week-to-week game plan. I mean, some of these games, man, the targets and the catches, I'm kind of like, what are we doing? Like, I'm thinking, is this a Justin Fields thing? Is this a Luke Getsy thing? Like, what's going on here? You traded for this guy, and we're doing all top crazy stuff. Where, it's a mess.
He was basically schemed out of game 1 entirely.
Oh boy.
Don't even count that game. He only has 6 games under his belt now.
Yeah,
or 7 games, whatever they're at now. The season's it goes by so fast. But guys, you guys as New Orleans fans, you're gonna love this game plan that we throw out there this week. You're just gonna love it. It's gonna feed right into your favor, and all of your fears that you think they're just gonna You're going to be the opposite.
Yeah.
What happens with
I love you. I love you guys.
Getsy?
I appreciate this so much.
Getsy is like, he's on a roller coaster, man. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
I've got to figure it out. And then he's like, okay, they're not going to think they're going to think I'm going to do that again this week. I'm going to go back to the Green Bay game plan from game 1. We're going to make this a horizontal passing game. And then Justin Fields can't do that because he can't get rid of the ball quick enough and he breaks his finger.
Oh, yeah.
So
This has happened at least 3 times this year, that we have people on this show who tell me 57 reasons that their team is going to lose, and then the Saints blow it anyway. And I feel it coming from this conversation. Like I can sense it. Like, oh, we're 7.5-point favorites at home. They, their own fans think they suck. They're talking about firing, selling the team, and we're gonna, give up 35 points and look stupid. Yeah, okay, yeah, I've seen this movie before.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Me too.
Yeah, we've been burned before for sure. Now, you brought up, Bobby, fantasy football for a second, and Craig hates when we bring up fantasy football, so
accurate.
I want to expand on
Me
it.
too. I'm right there with you, Craig.
Thank you.
I can't stand fantasy football. It's ruining our game.
Yes, I would like to expand on
Fantasy
that.
football is the reason that people think that Justin Fields is a good quarterback, because guys like Dale that draft him and get all those rushing numbers. And oh yeah, he's the best.
The name of the game is score points here.
Yes, sir.
But talk to me about Roschon Johnson, the rookie running back from Texas. He just coming off of concussion, right? And he played last game, but will we see his snaps increase and overall take over that role in Chicago? Do you believe that that's possible this year or pretty soon?
You want to take it, Shorty?
I mean, if as long as he can stay healthy, yes. He was already being ramped up to do so. Mm-hmm. And then he got the concussion, and I think the concussion protocol now is you have to miss 1 game, right? Am I wrong?
I mean,
they didn't
it looks like it.
Skip a game, but he plays for the Niners, and they have a different rule book.
That's true. But so yeah, I mean, now that he's back in, he's getting ramped back up. I think that's the goal. I mean, they've been, they went and signed Darrington Evans off of the, out of nowhere. He was with the Bears last year for a while, so he has experience in the offense. But they took him off the street, and I think that's the goal is to ramp up him to become the Roschon Johnson, to become the lead back by the end of the season.
Okay, that's music to my ears then, because I've got him on my team.
I wouldn't play in fantasy though. He's a Bear.
Whoever you have at running back that fumbles the most, just start them this week and only give them the carries.
Oh. Well, Velus Jones doesn't play running back, so.
Yeah. Oh,
put him at running back.
Oh, boy. I don't even know how that guy even has a roster spot right now. It's crazy.
That drop last week was just pathetic.
Oh.
Hey, what do we know? We have a tight end that mostly plays quarterback, so we don't know.
All right, let's talk about your defense real quick. Last week, you guys was missing Jaquan Brisker and Eddie Jackson, both your safeties. Are they trending to play this week?
Go ahead, Bobby.
Well, you know what? I think Jaquan Brisker was a surprise, designated to be out from the game. It was like the night before or the morning of with an illness. So I don't assume he would probably be missing this game. And Eddie Jackson, I was very distraught during that game. It was very hard to pay attention to a whole lot. But I saw Eddie Jackson standing on the sideline for a lot of that game, and he was suited. And so I'm not really sure what was going on with that, but I'm sure Jaquan Brisker will play. Besides that, though, we'll see.
Okay.
Jaquan Brisker is last week he was actually, I think he had a concussion also. And I think the concussion caused an illness. So it was a pretty bad concussion. So that's why they ended up holding him out again.
Oh.
So I'm not even so sure he'll play this week. I'm just trying to find the injury report right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's still on the injury report as did not participate with a concussion. So I'm going to guess you probably won't be seeing Jaquan Brisker. Eddie Jackson, he suffered a foot injury last year, and it's just never. He hasn't been able to really come back from it. He has the same injury again. It's kind of lingering. He's on the list as full participation though, so he might be in this game. But I wouldn't expect much from him because he hasn't played much. So it's not like he should be a worry for you guys. Yeah. Just being honest, Bobby. I mean, he hasn't really done much recently anyways, and then he gets injured. And then he's out for 2 or 3 weeks, and he comes back, and he doesn't really do very much, and he gets injured.
Y'all don't get it. You haven't seen our offense. All of it is a worry. Everyone on your defense is a worry because I know what kind of offense we're bringing out there.
Oh man, you guys said you have no pass rush. That you haven't watched our team, man. It's sad.
Wait a second. Who can talk shit about their team more?
Well, our line versus your non-existent D line, and it's going to be an immovable object versus an unstoppable force.
Oh man, there you go. That's right.
Hey, you guys made a trade to improve this pass rush, and
yes, sir.
Because of course you add a defensive lineman right before you play us. Why wouldn't you? Everyone does that.
Sounds like we got a win coming up here.
Man, come on, Montez Sweat, take it to the promised land, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we forgot about. I'm sure he's getting to that.
But we are pretty confident in that trade. Like, did you like the move?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, it's an interesting move for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's pretty much almost certain that we're not going to be making playoffs this year unless a miracle happens, which I am not counting on. And so a losing team trades for an impact player like Montez Sweat, easily top 20 pass rusher in the league. This guy has proven that he's consistent. He's also been on a loaded Washington Redskins defensive line. Lots of good guys on that line. So I'm sure it hurts for them to be losing a player like that. But for us to be getting a guy like this, we're a losing team. You give him, by the way, this is also kind of like I'm having a hard time not thinking about this. I mean, we're still not even past like the ripple effects of trading a high second rounder for a guy named Chase Claypool, which is just like, man, I mean, you talk about a trade blowing up in your face. I can't remember one blowing up in our faces that bad in quite some time. And now we go straight back to it again. Now, I don't think Montez Sweat is a Chase Claypool in the regard of maybe the character issues or whatever. I don't think so. But man, I mean, you talk about moving on quickly. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
Here's what confuses me about that trade. You give up a second for Sweat, right? And then the Niners trade a third for Chase Young like an hour later.
Right.
So I don't do the Niners and Eagles just get discount rates from everybody? Like they just some kind of backroom deal if that's the NFC Championship game this year. So everyone's just got to cut them their players.
No, that trade is based on playing time. It could turn into it's a comp pick, so it could turn into a second rounder. And I think that the Niners just went all in on this year. I don't think they have any plans on re-signing him unless he like blows up, for them, and then he's, better than Joey Bosa. So I think that their move in this move was just like they put all their chess pieces in, or their chips in and they're going all in this season.
Yeah, for that to blow up in their face.
I don't think they're going to re-sign him. With the Bears, though, it's kind of look exactly what you were saying, Bobby. This team is not ready to win right now. Why are you trading away a second round pick? Like it could end up being the third pick in the second round. Mm-hmm. Last year was atrocious because they ended up being the final pick in the first round because the Dolphins had their pick forfeited.
Yep.
But moving on. So now you're trading away another second round pick, which could be, the third or fourth or fifth or the second pick in the second round. And for what? A player that's now 27 in his prime, and you're not ready to win right now, and with the guy in his prime. So now, when the Bears are ready to win in in 2 or 3 years,
there you go.
He's going to be 30 years old, 29, 30, and the contract's already been paid. Meanwhile, we haven't done shit, and we're still trying to figure out at that point what we have done with Justin Fields and or not. So, to me, it was kind of. At this point, you're already in this position that you're in. You're building for the future. Why are you trading away assets for win now, strategy?
Is
Shorty, does this move
put out a better product so you don't get fired? Is that play into it?
Shorty, does this? Does this move guarantee? It's kind of like the contract has to happen now, right? Like you make this move, it has to happen, because if it doesn't happen, I mean, what are we looking at here? Is this a fireable offense if you rent a player and do not extend him?
1,000%.
Yes.
And I can't imagine the new president, Kevin Warren. And by the way, Bobby, you know how the Bears do it. They go interview a head coach, and then they go interview a general manager, and then they hire a general manager that hires the head coach that they interviewed, and then we knew Ted Phillips was going to retire as team president, and let's go hire Kevin Warren after those guys. So now Kevin Warren, as the new team president, is looking down on: are these my guys? To like what you're saying,
Right.
Does Poles feel like Justin Fields is his guy?
Yes, sir.
Well, does Kevin Warren feel like Ryan Poles is his guy?
Man.
So was Ryan Poles forced to hire Matt Eberflus because the McCaskies were running the show at the time? So now it's all been handed off to Warren, and where does it? So honestly, if Kevin Warren didn't sign off on this, he obviously gave Ryan Poles a second chance. If whether or not Flus is fired after this season or not, he gets a second chance at another head coach by him approving this. Because if Kevin Warren now, after all that shit I just said, has the reins of the team and he approves that trade, it better damn well be to re-sign him to a big contract. But again, why now? What we're not like in win now mode.
You don't understand. The script writers said to beat the Saints, so you got to add a defensive lineman this week, and then you can trade him again next week or cut him. It doesn't matter, because the script has to have us drop to 4-5, because Dennis Allen has never had a winning record this late in the year. We're not going to get one this year. Maybe.
There we go.
I am loving this negativity, though.
We're just getting more angry, like, by the minute here.
Out to each other. No, my team's worse. No, my team's worse.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna argue against myself in about 5 minutes on 4th down anyway. Don't worry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then they're gonna talk shit about us when we leave and be like, look at what we did.
That is exactly what I do.
Yeah,
on the
those
show,
losers.
It's very loving. It's loving shit talk.
All right, let's start with some predictions then. Bobby, let's start with you.
Oh boy. Yeah, you know what, man? I don't have a whole lot of confidence in this team right now. For good reason. I mean, yeah, sure. Do I want to see Tyson Bagent have a nice bounce back game? Yeah, it was kind of stale last week. Obviously the Raider game was awesome. You know what? Playing in the Superdome is a very difficult place to play. Shorty touched on it earlier. The Bears haven't historically done well on the road in New Orleans. I don't really expect that trend to change. Yeah, I don't expect that to change, man. The Saints have always had a pretty competitive defense. I know you guys are saying your pass rush is lacking, but I know the secondary is stout, always has been. Look, man, I'm looking at another Bears loss here, man. Like I can't really see. I mean, unless you guys just wake up on the wrong side of the bed, I can't really see. Because also, by the way, the Bears are just having such a hard time stringing together any kind of momentum. You have a big win, and then they come back with a massive stinker. It's so hard to see what this team's going to do and where we're going right now. So the prediction, look, man, I got to be realistic. It's a Bears loss, and I'm just hoping that it stays close, but it's got to be a Bears loss for me.
What's the score prediction?
Oh, boy. You know what? Right now, from what I've seen, the sample size from Tyson, I've liked it. As far as Roschon getting back in the mix, and then obviously, Deontay Foreman, I do like the way these guys are running. Darnell Wright and Tevin Jenkins have been very bright spots on that offensive line. They're showing out. They're getting pushed. Can't really speak so much for the rest of the guys on the line. But you know what? I do think the offense holds their own. If Jaquan Brisker, man, doesn't play, it's gonna be hard. He's an impact player back there. We got sliced and diced by Justin Herbert, especially in the short game. You know what? I'm gonna go. If I have to pick points, I'll do the Bears a favor. I'll be charitable. I'll go 23, and then I'm gonna go the Saints 35. Book it
For the Bears.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
Jimmy.
My question is, who's your quarterback this week?
Let's start with Carr.
Okay. What's your record?
4-4.
Okay.
Love Derek Carr.
You won the last.
We can argue about that later.
How many games in a row have you won?
1.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Because you guys think your team. I'm gonna look at you like this. Because you guys think that your team sucks, and we're trying to outbattle suckiness. I'm gonna take a Bears win here.
There we go.
Boy, man.
There we go.
That's right.
I'm going to say 26-18
All right.
Bears.
I feel like you've watched some of our games with a score like that.
That's just how my Bears are. They score weird points. It's just
Agreed.
Yeah, we won week 1 with 19 points. We get it.
Right.
I have to write that down. 26-18.
There
Okay.
you go. Make sure you place your bets.
What's the over under? Is it out yet?
4. No idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I
It probably
haven't looked at
doesn't
the
come out
line.
week.
I know the spread's 7.5. I don't know what the over under is yet.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good question, man. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, 26-18 Bears. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
It's
Tyson
hideous.
Invasion will have 200.
Oh, it's up to 8.5 now. The over under is 41.
Okay. There we go.
Just because the Bears they do this to us. So then now Tyson
And you
Bagent.
were terrible last week, so you should be at least mediocre this
Exactly.
week.
So,
Mhm.
Bobby, so now Tyson Bagent will have that awesome game. Everyone will like, oh, it was Tyson Bagent. You know, it'll be like the Trump Biden thing, dividing the fan
Yep.
base even more. And then it'll be like,
But if you say something good about Bajent, they'll just like pull your Facebook down.
yeah,
So it'll be exactly.
There you go. Exactly.
yes, absolutely.
There we go. All right. Yo, guys, this was a lot of fun. We appreciate this. Bobby, do you have anything to promote? I'm sorry. I forgot to ask you that before we started.
No, sir. Just happy to be here. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate
you.
it, man.
All right, Shorty, tell us how we can check out your podcast and YouTube.
Well, for any Saints fans that give a damn, Bears Country podcast, it's actually Bears Country Productions. I rebranded it because I do other videos and stuff on there. And somebody in comments said, I thought this is a podcast because it was Bears Country Podcast. So
Okay.
I renamed it to, I rebranded it to Bears Country Productions or BCP.
Jeez, you Bears fans are just so pleasant all the time.
Thank you. You can find me on Twitter at Bears Country Pod, at Bears Country Pod. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I'd love to have you on the show tomorrow if you'd like to join us. We're doing
All the time.
yeah. We'll talk.
We will show up drunk.
Well, that would be perfect. It's live though.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
In that case, I will also show up naked.
Even better.
All right. We appreciate you guys joining us.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate
Good,
it.
guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Time to make some predictions.
Okay,
You've
first
heard
off,
from our Bears fans.
everything they just said was wrong and stupid. I hate those guys. Never take them seriously. If you know them in real life, change your friends group because they're awful people. As I say every week, they had some good points this week. I'll admit that.
Oh man. Yeah, so this is one of those games. We're coming off the victory. We're riding on a high horse a little bit. We're looking down on the Bears. They're struggling, got a little undrafted rookie free agent quarterback starting right now. So
He lost to a mining college. That sounds like a joke, and it isn't.
Okay, so you just have absolutely no worries at all about Bajent and the Bears offense.
I have no worries at all about Bajent or the Bears offense. It doesn't mean that I think we're gonna win necessarily, but they're not gonna light us up. I don't think.
All right.
I mean, Lattimore has a tendency to take it down a notch when it's not an elite matchup, but they have DJ Moore out there, so
Yeah,
maybe he'll
he
get
should
up
be
for
up.
that.
He should be up.
You've got not Alontae Taylor, the good one. Paulson Adebo had played out of his head in Indianapolis.
Yeah, he did.
And he's got that momentum going through. If he doesn't get 5 penalties called on him, he's going to lock something down on the outside. Basically, it's establish the run or die if you're the Bears offense. So our pass rush isn't great. We made some jokes about that on 3rd down, but if you can't run the ball, this secondary is going to eat you alive. This is not we play worse at home. I get that. This is not a good matchup for a UDFA quarterback on the road. If you can't establish a run, it's going to be a long day for that offense.
Yep. And look, on their defense, they struggled last week against.
But they added an All-Pro, right? He's not all. Is he All-Pro? He's good.
I don't know about All-Pro, yeah, but he's
good.
He's a good pass rusher, yeah. But they did struggle last week versus Eckler in the passing game. Eckler had 94 yards and 1 touchdown receiving.
Well, if only we threw to Kamara.
Exactly. And now we have them coming to New Orleans versus AK. I'm expecting another big game from AK.
And now he's running those choice routes again.
Right.
Those unguardable choice routes on a linebacker. Just unfair.
There is no linebacker that's going to be able to cover him. I feel good about that matchup for sure. They look like they're going to be missing one safety this week. So that's going to be another matchup to exploit, especially deep. Carr loves that deep ball.
Oh, Shaheed season.
Yes. So him and Shaheed going to hook up deep often, I believe, in this game. And just looking at their pass defense overall, they're ranked 30th. They go 262 yards a game. And I mean, I think teams are choosing to pass the ball on them versus run because they're ranked 3rd against the run. That's giving up 78 yards a game. And I just think people are just passing the ball like crazy.
If you can throw all over the place,
right.
You don't have to pound the rock anymore. I get it.
Yep.
All right. Well, I feel like there's a lot of reasons to be excited, and that's one of the reasons that I'm scared. Is I've said that a few times. I thought we were going to beat the hell out of Green Bay too. I think. So it's one of those things that if we come out flat, it doesn't matter who he's playing. The Saints are their biggest enemy. If they come out overconfident and slow and flat like they did in Houston, we're gonna lose to an inferior team. We're better than Houston. We're probably better than Jacksonville, and we lost both of those games. So I'm not. There are exactly 2 ways this is going to go. We come out flat and we lose a close game, or we blow their freaking doors off. Those are the only ways that this game can go, and I'm not sure which way it'll be.
Are you concerned about the mental state of the team and just hoping that they aren't on their high horse because it's the Bears coming to town? That's
the thing is there are some immature guys on this team. People like Olave and Taylor come to mind, but it's packed with leaders too. I know you guys all hate Derek Carr, but he's a leader. Kamara is a leader. Michael Thomas is a leader. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan. There are Marshawn Lattimore even. There should be enough leadership on here to be like, all right, keep the ship and put these guys in the dirt, and then we can dance in the locker room. Do the work first. So, I'm leaning towards we kick the shit out of them as opposed to struggle. I think there might be being able to score like we have recently, being able to move the ball, getting Taysom in the red zone. I think that builds a little bit of confidence. I don't believe in momentum. I think that's fake. I think that's a thing that fans talk about. But I do believe in confidence. And if the team is feeling themselves, I think they might sense some blood in Chicago. Chicago is not a good football team. Right. They got blown out by a bad football team last week in San Diego. I'm not calling them the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm not going to do it. It's the San Diego Chargers and it's the Washington Redskins. You just cancel me. I don't care. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I think we kick the doors in, man. I don't think we're going to score as much as last week because we don't have a 5th round, a 5th string special teams guy to throw out all day. But I think we get to 30. I think we score 31 points, and I think they maybe get to 13, 17 maybe. So how about 31-13, just crushing?
Okay.
I stomp on them, and then we're gonna start feeling ourselves too. A couple of big wins, playing some weak schedule, bye week on the horizon. We're gonna get all this confidence to be shattered later.
Oh man. Okay.
Gimme.
Well, yeah, I definitely agree. I think the Saints are going to win this game. I do hope that we have cleaned up the penalty situation because last week the 2 offensive penalties while you're in the red zone back to back. I'm sorry, not in the red zone. While you're trying to milk the game away and all that stuff. But yeah, we can't have that again. So I do agree. The offense has been looking better. Their car's been looking better. So I'm going to say the Saints will score 30 points. That's right. 30 points. I would say Chicago 13. It's going to be a blowout. That's my prediction.
Almost identical scores right there. Look at that. We're definitely going to lose now. There's no way we're both this confident before a game.
So I'm so sorry to be so confident right now.
Oh, damn it. I apologize, Saints fans. When we do lose it, it'll be me and Dale's fault. Mostly Dale's fault.
That's it, man. Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up for us this week on the Beer Run.
Look, I know this ran a little bit late. We know you have a way of wasting an hour in your day, and we're amazed you keep choosing us. It's a terrible decision. For the whole BSnBEER family, the Frenemies Show, the SEC Pub, all of these guys, for Dave's Loud Ass Truck and the Godfather Tomas, for Beach Train and company. I've been the California Cajun. This has been Little Dace. Have a beer. It's on us.
Who that?
Remember to follow us on social media at BSnBEER Media. Also, smash the like button on YouTube and share with friends.